be a little.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good evening and welcome to the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show. I'm your host, BA, along with James, JT,
J-Train, all right.
J-Train Martin. And
on the right track.
Who is the one that's sleepy right now? Anyway.
Right, this is going well. It's going well. I like it.
Already. Right on track. It is November the 19th. We got, 8 more days until Thanksgiving? Yep, 8 more days until Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's prepared for that. Lots of fun with the family. Anyway.
You know, it's funny because we're not actually doing anything for Thanksgiving. I am flying to Mexico the next day.
Well, smart man. Awesome.
Yep. So it's like, but we got to get on a plane early.
How long for Mexico? About a week or so?
Yeah, just a week.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's wintertime in the Northwest, right? So we get a lot of rain, although it is sunny and nice today, but not very warm. So we're going to go to where it's sunny and 82.
And not raining.
Sound like a plan to me.
Right?
On a consistent basis. Well, that's good because it's cold here. 44 degrees. I mean, it's not bad cold, but not yet. Yep. But it's getting there. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. That's what it is here, too, is mid-40s.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I like how you do that. Oh, man. Well, you're in Atlanta. What's the temperature in Atlanta, by the way?
It's probably about 75 or something like that.
Oh, God.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. When you say 40 something, I was like, oh, that's not what I want to deal with right now.
That's not even bad yet.
Well,
exactly.
But that's a high. Just think what it is in the morning time. It's like 25 in the morning. Anyway. So let's move on from the weather and everybody having a good time here. We don't have good times here. No, I'm just kidding. Speaking of good times, Spitgate, good old Chase, and Jalen Ramsey. Yes, the Hawk-Tua Gate. That's what we should call it, the Hawk-Tua Gate. That's even better. Chase, Jalen got ejected from the game because he punched Chase. Well, the reason why he punched Chase is because Chase decided he was going to spit on him. What the dumb thing about the whole situation is fine. It's a nasty thing. I don't know what's this whole spitting thing is going on in the NFL, but you guys got to stop this stuff, man. It's just this nasty, first of all, disrespectful to your fellow player. I don't give a damn if he's on another team or not. It has nothing to do with that. Stop doing that stuff. That's bad. That's nasty. But he said he didn't spit on him. Dude. There's like 500 cameras around you. And you're going to sit there and lie and say you didn't spit on the man? Oh, you're ignorant. I lost a lot of respect for him for doing that.
Caught it in 4K in slow-mo. So, I mean, it doesn't get much more obvious than that. And it's not like the one earlier in the year where it was a response to Dak supposedly spitting to the side. Like, this is just he hauled off and did it and then proceeded to lie about it. So, you know, it makes you look even worse to do that.
And then appeal it.
And then, you spit on me, you're getting socked in the face. Like, that's a legitimate response.
Right. Because it's disrespectful. You'd be spitting on it.
it's as egregious as it is, and this is nothing new. I mean,
This is true.
I jotted down some serious. I mean, this is probably not as egregious as the Romanowski one with J.J. Stokes. That was pretty nasty, where it was hanging off the face mask,
Yeah.
and it was like a very expensive loogie too. I mean, it's like Jalen Carter spitting on, well, he was baited into that one
Yes.
to spit. I mean, but I don't care who baits you, man. Just to just take the time and hawk a big nasty loogie and just say I'm gonna throw that in somebody's face is just totally disrespectful, and it's just yeah, it's considered an assault for sure. But it's football. They're not gonna arrest anybody for spit in anybody's face. I mean, it's more violent things to deal with in football. So I mean, it's just a matter of respect. Totally disrespectful. And yeah, I guess I have to look at, although he's one of my favorite players, I just totally disappointed with what he did. Hopefully he learns from this and they move on.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to cost him $500,000, right?
Yeah.
Suspended for a game. Just like Carter did earlier this year for the Eagles, right? He was suspended for that game. He did it before the game even started. Now, obviously, again, like you mentioned, he was baited into it. Dak, spit his way, whatever. But yeah, it's gross. And, fortunately for him, Tomlin isn't going to do anything beyond the trouble that he's getting into for hitting Chase. Basically he sided with Ramsey in that situation. And so I'm not mad at it.
And Chase now owns the record for the most expensive loogie with $505,000. Yes,
Yeah.
and the last one was 57,000. So
Yeah,
that's a drastic jump.
And this is what Tomlin had to say about the whole incident about Jalen and the Chase Spitgate, Haktua Gate.
The message is someone spits in your face. Do what comes natural.
That's exactly right. Do what comes natural. If you sock him in the head, hey, you know what? The league's going to fine you. And, obviously that's going to happen. But from the team side, we're not doing anything. I'm not mad at that response.
Self-defense. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Spitting on people, man. Come on, Jamar.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt he faded to black or he just lost it when the spit came in his face. I wouldn't even remember what happened after somebody spit in my face because, I mean, I'm going to come to and you're on the ground somewhere, probably bloodied up.
I happened to me one time when I was younger, and my response was to punch them in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like I've actually absorbed a hit and been like, you know what, whatever. Getting spit on, I punched him. Like it was just immediately it's on like that. It is what it is. So seeing that response, I was like, yeah, no, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have. Yeah, took a couple of shots if I could have. Let's see.
Now hitting somebody with a helmet on doesn't really matter.
Yeah, right. I wish players would kind of be a little bit
hockey
more
style.
Yeah, they need to stop doing that because it makes them look even stupider. When they do that, it's like, dude, he's got a helmet on. What the hell you punch him in the face for? You can't even hit him. Hit him in the chest. I don't even know if you can hit him in the chest really because he's got pads on there too. Trip him or something. I don't know. Kick him in the nuts because usually they don't wear a cup or anything like that sometimes. So okay,
and he'll be spitting, all right. He won't be spitting. He's probably spitting blood or something.
There you go.
Getting kicked in the cashews.
There you go. Speaking of to the cashews, Penix to have season-ending surgery, so he will no longer be playing for the rest of the season. Cousins will be taking over that spot. Probably at this point in time, it really don't make a difference for Atlanta anyway because they're not playing well. They're a joke right now.
That's a full blown ACL. I mean, it was a partial tear, but full blown surgery that he has to have. So that's gonna be a long time to recover because he's not exactly the the poster boy for good health. Considering all the injuries he's had before, he's had ACL before and shoulder surgery. So, man, he needs like a
By
cyborg.
default, yeah.
He needs some cyborg work there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, unfortunately he had that in college. Like he's had limited time where he's been healthy. So, unfortunate to see that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, what's the over under if the Atlanta can't beat New Orleans this weekend? Do you think that Raheem Morris gets kicked out the door if they can't beat the Saints?
So
If they lose to the Saints, go ahead. I'll let you go first.
I'm probably going to say exactly what you were going to say in the way of if they happen to lose to this Saints team, you're probably getting fired.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it's fired. I think there's a cannon sitting right outside the game where they're going to put him right in like a ball and have a short fuse, and Arthur Blank just going to light that bad boy up, and everybody's watching Raheem just launching back to Atlanta or wherever he's from, probably like, whoa, with a pink slip gagged in his mouth.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get kicked out the door after the game against Carolina, especially in the fact that they had a 14-point lead against them and then just choked that away. Yep.
You gave
Texas bad.
Bryce Young his record throwing yards. I mean, he career day 440, I think. I mean, it's crazy. 3 touchdowns. And he's just coming off a 125-yard day against the Saints prior to that.
And this is a coach that's supposed to be a defensive-minded coach.
Well, he's obviously not offensive-minded, so.
Well, yeah.
And not only is he defensive-minded, he's a secondary coach prior to that. I mean, I think he played corner himself. And that's got to be embarrassing. I mean, I don't know what to say. Kevin, you're taking strays and shots since you're Falcons fans out there. You're going to keep taking them, brother, because there's no way you got all those first-round players on offense, and you're getting zilch nada out of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, 27 points, you should win a game if you on most Sundays, you should win a game if you have really decent defense with 27 points, but to Carolina to get 30 points out of it. And then not only that, they did it twice. They swept them.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. The first one was horrible.
Well, the thing that's hilarious coming out of this is now people are like, "Oh, has Bryce Young arrived?" I'm like, "Can we calm down?"
It's the Falcons.
Right? Like, let's pump the brakes. Like, he didn't just miraculously become an elite quarterback. He played a Falcons team that does everything possible to get in their own way. So did he take advantage of Atlanta just being terrible? Sure. Which you would hope so.
He's still 5'10". Can't see over the line and gets
still throws
pressure
130 yards against good teams. So let's calm down.
I'm waiting for Sonya to pop up.
Oh, she's coming. She's hearing everything.
Oh, I'm sure the group chat is already like, "You guys are haters," which I mean, fair, but
I mean, I'm a divisional rival, so I have the right to hate. But with that said, I'm pretty fair in my assessments. I don't think they're quite there yet. I just don't think they're quite there. I think there are some moments that they look good, but for the most part, they're 6? They're 6-5. So, but their wins have come against under 500 teams, except the Buffalo one. I will give them that. Buffalo is an outlier.
They got
great though.
Yeah, didn't they get their butt kicked by Buffalo? Wasn't there?
No, I mean, hold on. I mean, we got to give them props for 2. They beat Green Bay as well.
Yeah, they beat Green Bay, and they lost to New Orleans, and they lost. Who else did they lose to? Away. Oh, New England. They got blown out by New England and Buffalo. So
No,
you
they
got
beat
two
Buffalo,
quality.
didn't they? Oh no, you're right.
No,
They lost to Buffalo. Sorry,
no,
they
they
beat
got
Green
killed by
Bay.
Buffalo.
They,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
they
beat
beat
Green
Green
Bay.
Bay.
That was their quality win. But is that saying so much about Green Bay? This is why I don't. Everybody can say I could be a hater all I want. It's a division thing, but you know what? When you see a team, I respect Green Bay for the history that they have and how good of teams they put together as wins and losses. And their defense is decent, but their offense is nowhere. And this is the reason I don't believe in Green Bay. I just don't.
And it's a Green Bay team that tied the Cowboys that don't play defense at all. So
and lost to Cleveland.
Yeah, so it's not like either one of those are great teams. Buffalo is a very beatable team. They don't play an inspired brand of defense. So I mean, it's not like we're talking about Bills a couple years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about some prime eras of Green Bay. You're talking about a middling Green Bay team. You're talking about a Buffalo team that lost a lot of defensive players. So, I mean, are the Panthers better than they've been? Sure. Mm-hmm. Are they awesome? No. This is kind of where we thought they would be. I think they're ahead of schedule. I thought they were going to be a 7-win team. They'll probably easily pass that, but their wins aren't quality wins. Now you have to beat who's on your schedule. I'm not discounting that.
Right. That's true.
But at the same time, the teams you're losing to are good teams, and the only teams you're beating are bad teams. So,
the rest of their schedule is pretty hard.
We're going to find out who they are.
Yeah,
we're going to find out who they are real quick.
Yep, real quick. Speaking of quarterbacks and starting, Shedeur Sanders is going to start for the Cleveland Browns against the Raiders this Sunday. Should he start for the rest of the season?
Well, I mean that'll be determined. I mean, first of all, they said he's not going to start the rest of the season. Win, lose, or draw, this is still Dylan Gabriel's team, and so I mean, he would have to really light it up. He's getting the reps this week, and he's going up against a pretty equal team. They're record wise, they're playing the Raiders, and so I think he'll have an opportunity to play much better. I mean, he played against a much improved Ravens defense that has been they've been a lot better in the past 4 or 5 games. So, and speaking of which, Lamar Jackson is on an injury report with an ankle. So that's something to watch out for. But with that said, he should start. He's the second string quarterback. He should start this game. And I think it goes from there. I think if you give him the options to be able to run with the ones in the reps and see how he plays, there's no excuses from here. He got to play well. He has to go out and ball out to say he has a shot at being the starter over Dylan Gabriel, because ultimately Dylan Gabriel was their guy, and he is their guy. He was picked in the 3rd round. He's not great. I mean, if you listen to a lot of the Cleveland media, they've been clamoring for this, what's happening right now. They want to see what Shedeur can do, at least because they see that someone at least is not afraid to throw the ball down the field further than 10, 15 yards. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, but he didn't look great. Obviously, he didn't look great at all. He had a couple moments, what Shedeur Sanders I'm speaking of, but he had some of those habits in college, like the running around, trying to escape 15, 16 yards outside of the pocket. You can't do that. You got to take a 4 or 5 yard sack. It's just what it is. I mean, they knew what you're going to do. They know you don't like being blitzed, so they blitzed you. Yep. And it's a really good team that's blitzing you, And shout out to Hamilton for showing respect by pulling the arm up with the wristwatch when it was sacked him.
Yep. No, I mean it's funny because obviously you can say he was kind of set up for failure in this game because he didn't have any reps and all of that, right? But that's most backups, right? Most backups
for sure.
Getting, first team reps, and then you add the fact that he's a rookie, so you're not going to get the best quality gameplay. But you also have to look at the fact that the offensive line had just knocked Gabriel out, right? It's not like Gabriel was like, hey, let me go get just murdered out here today. That offensive line was a turnstile, and then continued to be when Shador got out there. So there's a clip that I had that had 3 linemen to one side, one of them locked up with a guy, the other 2 locked up with each other, and then a 3 rusher coming at Shador. So I don't care how good of a quarterback you are, you probably aren't being successful in that moment, right? Just probably not going to be a good thing. Now, there's some issues that he has that continue from college. He has a tendency to hang on to the ball. If you have a porous offensive line, that is not going to work out very well. So, obviously a lot to clean up. Was a really ugly first outing. But do I think it gets a lot better with 1 week? Probably not, right? He's going against a far less talented team, so that will certainly help. But yeah, to your point, Dylan Gabriel's their guy. They've shown that he's their guy. So unless he goes out and throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks, he's not winning that job because he's not their guy. Now, if he can go have a decent day, he might generate some trade value for him at the end of the year, but they don't seem like they want him.
I say if he does 200 yards, 200 plus yards, 2+ TDs, no interceptions, take care of the ball, no fumbles, he's making a case. I'm sorry. It just hadn't been. I mean, even if it is the Raiders, he is going to make a case to at least in the media and the fans. They're gonna light them up. That's where it's going to be.
It's that he'll make it at 200 yards and a couple of TDs. He'll make the case for a fan base. He'll make it in the media. He won't make it for their team. Now, if
that's
he's
the fancy
200 yards plus and he's throwing for 2 or 3 touchdowns, then all of a sudden you have within the building a conversation because you're like, okay, I mean, that's 300 yards that, yeah, it's a bad Raiders team, but even other teams aren't doing it against the Raiders quite like that. And so,
and a win.
Well, it has to win, even though he doesn't do anything on the defensive side, but it has to be a win. He probably has to be 300 plus and at a minimum 2 touchdowns with no picks to even have a conversation about taking the job over.
And the thing is, he can win because that defense, I agree with you. The offensive line is horrendous. It's just atrocious. But that defense is going to give him more opportunities because you saw what he did against Baltimore. Baltimore barely pulled out a win against that defense. I mean, Myles Garrett had 4 sacks on Lamar Jackson, 4 by himself. They had 5 total.
And Gino's a turnover machine. So I don't know what Gino's deal is this year, but I mean, they're going to get at least 2 more possessions in this game. Like they have no business losing.
It's probably the Raiders' offensive line as well. Ashton Genty is not doing well. I mean, I'm thinking. I'm not saying he was a bust. I just rather see the team to be complete before I put out any judgment on Ashton Genty. But I did think in the beginning, I thought Omarion Hampton was the better prospect coming out.
So I'll give you this stat that might change your perspective on Genty a little bit. His average contact is 1 yard. He makes it 1 yard to contact. That is
that's terrible. That's an offensive line issue. That's just
so
you're not even barely touching the ball and somebody's hitting you.
That's exactly right. So I can't hate on the guy too much because if you're getting contacted like that, that means on average your first contact is actually behind the line of scrimmage. Right?
Behind the line of scrimmage, exactly right. Exactly.
So I mean, I can't say anybody's a bust when you're getting contacted as fast as you're getting the ball. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to reserve judgment before. I'd rather see their team be a little bit better on the offensive line in their trenches before I make judgment on it.
Yep.
And I noticed that you said that he based on what they're doing right now in the organization, that he won't be starting because they don't want him. It's still Gabriel's team. However, if they fire Stefanski, which I think they're going to do at the end of the season, then guess what? It's a whole different ball game. because now they have who the owner wanted. Now the owner's got free reign to hire somebody that's going to work with Shador. Now, that's not going to be good for Gabriel if that happens, say.
One of those guys is not on this roster next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to depend on who's at the helm. So if it is, if Stefanski survives, which he might, who knows, Shador probably gets moved. If someone else goes in and they like Shador, Gabriel will be moved. There's a chance that they're bad enough, they get a high enough draft pick, they might take one of these other quarterbacks and be like, you know what? We didn't like any of this. So, I mean, it's really tough to say.
Yeah.
All we do know, there's one thing we know for sure. The Browns are going to mess it up.
Somehow.
And one thing we also know for sure is that at 4:05 Eastern, everybody's going to be watching that game on CBS. So if you can obtain it in your area, I would imagine they're going to make that game probably like a game of the week type thing, so where everybody can watch that game. It just makes too much sense. It's just too much.
That's where the owner
involved.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Or
why
the league,
got
yeah.
Shador, so he can get them ratings. He's kind of like the mini Cherry Jones in this condition here. Yeah.
I would say that it was smart on his part. It was very smart on his part. But yeah, go ahead. What you going to say about Rex Ryan?
Rex Ryan had this to say about Shador.
Is it the kid's fault? Is it the organization's fault? I have no idea. All right. But I am going to say this. The only energy I saw in the entire stadium was when that kid popped on the field. Right. When Shador walked on the field, you know who was wanting to see him play? Fans. The dang fans. What the hell is going on in Cleveland? Yeah. What is going on in Cleveland? And so to me, it's like, are you not giving this kid a chance from day one? Why the hell did you trade up for him in the first place? Who's running? Or is it something about the kid that you can't stand? I don't know.
So before we say anything about what he's saying, I need shades on because those teeth are the whitest I've ever seen in my life. I mean, what are those chiclets? I mean, yes, they're not even the natural color of teeth. That's like the whitest of white I've ever seen, man, of anybody's mouth when he opens. He's talking. It matches his shirt. It's like
he's the Cheshire cat. Like the lights go out, it's just a smile.
That's some scary stuff too.
He's got like white, freshly painted picket fences in his mouth, man. It's like, what is that?
Yeah, his veneers are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, so the thing is he's not entirely wrong, right? Like they've shown that they didn't want him, right? Like it was a PR pick at the point that they did it, right? At the same time, like you got to at least give him some tools. Now I get him not getting first team reps. A lot of second stringers don't anyway, but they're definitely not going to because he has another rookie in front of him, right? So people are acting like it's something wild that he's not getting first team reps. That's really common for a rookie to get all the reps if they're the starter, because they need as many reps with their guys as you can get. So it's not like that's some wild thing that's just the Browns being dysfunctional. It's just a bonus that they're dysfunctional.
I agree with what you're saying, everything. It's not uncommon, like you said, for a rookie, or even if it's not a rookie. I mean, the person who's the starter will get all the reps a lot of times, and when you have backups, the argument is like, oh, I've heard that backups who are veterans will get some 1 or 2 reps, but some backups don't get them at all because they don't need them. They have a good aspect of the game plan, and they can come in and spell the quarterback if needed. In this situation, like I said, I'm not judging him off that first game. He came in the field. Obviously, clearly he was unprepared, but it's what it is. He didn't get any reps, and it's just what happened. He's not the quarterback. He's a rookie still. So I think he'll have a better chance of success with this game, particularly because, again, they're almost evenly matched, except for defense. I think the best defense is going to be on the side of Cleveland, and that should help Shador because he'll get more opportunities, to be able to try to score.
Yeah, and he's right. That whole entire franchise is just they don't know what they're doing. I'm not. But the last.
All right, B's freezing.
Oh, I was thinking that was me. I was just like, I don't know what he's saying.
5.
And you spoke too soon. He said, "I'm fine."
This show brought to you in part by Timu Wi-Fi.
Yes. The unprofessional show.
It was actually YouTube censoring him. It's like, nope, not going to listen to any of that.
Me?
Nah, he's still frozen.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
The Christmas movie, the old claymation Christmas show is starting early.
On here? Yeah. StreamYard's being unprofessional. It's helping us out. There we go.
That's right.
StreamYard's being unprofessional. I guess they're joining in the fray. Anyway, onward and forward. We had a little incident in the Texas A&M South Carolina game with a Texas A&M trooper. Bo, I'm not as familiar. I saw it in the headlines, and I usually don't pay attention to stuff like that because it just irritates the hell out of me when I see stuff like this. But could you give us some more forbearing into the whole situation?
So this one is worth being irritated about, which is why I brought it up here. And so like a couple of things, so the players were up in the tunnel, and I don't know what my dog just did there, but so they're up in the tunnel and they're walking back, and you can see the players actually kind of spread apart a little bit. Maybe not quite enough, but they spread apart. There was room for the cop to get between them, and he ends up flexing his arms out to create the contact with the players, then wheels around, starts yelling at him, right? And even if you were to go with the assumption the players were wrong because they were up the tunnel, restricted area, it still doesn't do anything good to react that way. One of the primary jobs of a cop is to de-escalate situations. And when you watch the video, you're going to see him literally create the contact to create the problem. Now, they did dismiss him for the day, and then there is an internal investigation as well. So, but what my biggest issue is he did something like this with 1,000 cameras on him on national TV. It makes you wonder what kind of stuff happens when the cameras aren't on and he's out on the road, right? So that becomes a real thought, right? Now, maybe this was a bad day and he is not indicative of his personality in any way. But that being said, as a cop, you're held to a higher standard. So your better day not be like this. Or your worst days better not be like that, because that can be a real problem if you're out on the street. Because if you run into a cop, which is how this would be portrayed without cameras, well, that's assault on a police officer. All of a sudden, that day was real bad.
Pictures typically are worth 1,000 words. In this case, video footage is worth 1,000,000 words. I mean, you look at this, I don't have any audio, so I can't assume what he said to them or what was said or if the player said anything to him. But what you see is that, to me, from everything I saw from the beginning to the end, this is a guy that clearly lives in Texas.
Yes.
He is not a fan of South Carolina.
Yep.
He's not a fan of them potentially losing. They were 8, 9-0, whatever it was. This is their spot to get into the playoffs.
And they were getting.
He obviously said it again.
They were getting trucked at this point too.
Yes, exactly. So with that said, this is a guy. He's has poor emotional intelligence. You don't act like this as a grown man. These are kids. In all perspective, these are young 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old guys that are playing football, playing a game, coming up the tunnel to come back to the field, and you walk in between them. First of all, if you're somebody that has any type of emotional intelligence, you just wait till they walk. He did that with intent. He had intent to hit them so he can start a fight with them and say something. And he quickly turned around. He did a 180, put his finger out there, and he was upset. He wasn't upset that those boys were walking past him and he bumped him. He was upset because Texas A&M was getting lambasted, and they came back and won the game anyway. So you got suspended for nothing. It was just stupid, totally stupid, and unnecessary.
No, I think this is an appropriation of what cops are looked at as now anyway, as they're the almighty power, and how dare you do anything to impede whatever they want to do, or you move aside, peasant. I got to come through, and I don't know where the training comes from. These instances, not just this particular one, but other ones that involve officers of the law. And I'm not going to say it sheds bad light on cops, but the majority of officers are good officers. They're good.
No
They're
doubt.
good people. They're really good. It's just the bad apples, man. It just dude. We do have a thing for that.
Whatever. Really? Well, that's good to know. I would hope so. I did not see that. Wasn't aware of that. Got a ton of respect for the people here at College Station. They just a first class operation. Everybody from a game operations standpoint, they do a great job and are first class people. So I appreciate them handling that the right way and sending him home.
So, but before you pop this down,
Oh, my bad.
Whatever. Really? Well, that's good to know. I would.
killing me, Smalls. So if we come back right here, right, you see him come up.
Yeah.
Flexes his arms out to hit him.
He pushes his arms out. Yeah.
He literally is making that contact. And then for anybody that's watching, these are the clips that were put out not only by the stadium, but as well as the police department oversight committee. And so he is under investigation. And so I haven't heard exactly what's going on from it after the fact, but yeah.
What in the Roscoe Pico train is going on with this footage?
But yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day, like it was a terrible look. So yeah, but
Hazard County again strikes again. Look, let me say that this particular cop should be fired, man, or suspended. I don't want to put anybody out there to say they should be fired. I mean, jobs are hard to come by, but he should definitely be up for suspension at least at the minimum. With that said, I remember what's the movie Transformers, the first one that came out in like 08, 09? The cop car he was driving by and it said to search and destroy. What was this? This is his mentality. This is what he was doing. Searching and destroying. I mean, not to protect and serve, man. I mean, what's wrong with people?
Yeah, it was to imprison and punish.
To imprison and punish. Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much, this is where he's at, man. This is the total misuse of that badge. That badge is an honor. I don't care what you do. You take that. You go to your what is it, boot camp, and what is it for police officers? What do they go to?
Academy.
What is it? The academy. All this, man. It's an honor to do all that stuff, man. And you're giving a bad name to other good cops, man. And I understand it's a brotherhood, but they got to start calling out these guys that are making them look bad, because you can't.
I was actually really close to becoming a cop.
I
was waiting for my oral boards, and then our governor cut 127 deputy jobs, and all of us that were in the process got let go.
Wow.
That's
messed up.
But yeah, so I was going for the King County Sheriff's Office, and so yeah, I went through all of the testing and all of that, and then was just waiting for the oral boards to get into the academy.
This is why when you see things like George Floyd, I mean, George Floyd obviously did not have the best record or anything like that, but he deserved to die. And so you hate to look at people like this, man, and say like, is there like you don't want to say there's race involved, but I mean, who does this, man? Come on, you just like you said, he put his arms out and turned around as if they were the problem. And the young man that pulled his buddy back, he had more sense and more emotional intelligence. He's like, oh man, come on, let's go. He didn't even engage with him.
Yep.
You don't, because he's got a gun on his hip, and you just don't know what somebody may do and how they might respond. That's just totally irresponsible.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Man.
And even if you have that tendency, like you can't do it with the badge on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the badge is supposed to be that equalizer, right? Like you are supposed to de-escalate situations and protect the players on the field. That's actually why you're even there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is to protect them in case somebody jumps over the wall or anything like that. Your job is to
protect
keep order and protect
and serve.
Exactly.
And this is something that has been lost in a lot of police departments. And I'm not understanding where the training is coming from that is putting them in that situation. And I mean, I know you went through training, so you have a little more insight into it. So
the thing is I don't know that it's necessarily the training. So like in this instance, I don't know what kind of training you would have required to know that you shouldn't go hit somebody. Right? Like, I don't think you need training for that. Like, that seems like a basic common sense moment. And yeah, exactly. It's not training. So the other thing that's interesting about police is you can straight up get, now I'm not saying this guy did, so let me just throw that out there, but you can actually get fired from a department in a different city. And that for reasons that you shouldn't get rehired, and you can't get rehired there, and you can move to another state, and it's not, all of that stuff doesn't necessarily transfer. So you'll see some of these guys that get away with things be able to get on in different states. I don't think you should be able to do that. You know, there's a lot that's, and again, I'm not saying this guy has, so like, let's not sue the show or anything like that. Like, this is a generalized statement that is something that can happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's, when you see stuff like this, it's very frustrating to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's get out of that mode, because that's kind of depressing. And you would have, and you both, I think you would have made a great cop. I think you would.
Same.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. I'm not sad that I didn't end up doing it. You know, I never reapplied after they started bringing, you know, jobs back and stuff. I figured after that, good enough.
Well, that's good. At least you got the experience. You know some of the things that go on behind the scenes in the academy and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. At least you have some kind of sense if you ever have a situation.
I didn't make it to the academy, so I was basically, you had to go through physical testing and then a few other test things, and then you had to do. You would have been required to go do the oral boards, which is in front of the sheriff and some other high-powered people, and then from there they bring you to the academy, and then you go through from there. So I was waiting for the oral boards, but our governor at the time, Christine Gregoire, shut down everyone that was in the pipeline, and 127 deputies all got fired, all within I think it was 2 months.
Wow. What was that a response to?
Budget cuts.
Oh,
Remember, we were like big on cutting funding for police here in the Northwest, because this was actually before the big cut funding thing that had us have the weird Chaz neighborhood that was like a sovereign state for a minute. And like Seattle's a weird spot. we do some goofy stuff out here.
All right. From weird spot to your top 10 NFL rankings.
There we go.
Let me take this crap off here.
So I didn't kill the Seahawks for that loss because they played as bad as you could have on offense. Turned the ball over 4 times, and they had an opportunity to win at the end. They were within a field goal. The Rams look as good as any team is. The Lions, also
I'm surprised you didn't kill them.
Well, it wasn't a bad loss, right? Like, I mean, you guys lost. You didn't look good, but you lost to, again, arguably one of the top 2 teams in the league. So the Patriots move up. I got killed for this a little bit earlier today because they're like, they should be higher because of their record. And it's like, yeah, except they beat bad teams. Like they've beat the Jets and they've beat the Titans, and who cares? Everybody's done that. So they don't have any real notable, like, good wins. So those are the same with the Colts, right? The Colts, they're beating teams, Broncos included, like they're sneaking by some teams. Broncos have actually probably played some better teams than the Colts and the Patriots, but
in fact, they beat the Eagles.
They did. Yeah. So, I mean, the Broncos probably could have been higher, but I just have a hard time moving them up because a lot of the games that they've played aren't really against good teams. Whereas the losses that you've seen for the guys that are up top weren't bad losses against really good teams. So that's kind of why that fell there. The Niners sneaking back on this really bums me out because I thought since literally everybody's hurt, they would just go away, and man, they're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Well,
I had a question. Well, I mean, I have a question about this. I mean, I think this is a really good list, and I think it's very appropriate with where everybody's at. What about the Jaguars? Where would you put them in the top 15 somewhere?
Oh, in the top 15? So the Jags are a frustrating team. So they would probably be like probably 13th, right?
Yeah, because aren't they just a 2-loss team as well?
No. They
I think so.
Who's that?
The Jags.
I think it's Jaguar. I think they've only lost 2 games.
No,
did they lose last week?
No, they beat the crap.
7-3.
They beat the brakes off the Chargers.
They're 7-3.
No, they're 6-4.
6-4.
They're 6-4.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because they lost to the Texans.
Oh yeah, they are 6-4. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. The Texans came back and beat them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They barely beat the Raiders. They got smoked by the Rams. They lost to the Seahawks. They squeaked by KC, which was a good win, but also it was a KC team that didn't have 2 of their stars.
They beat San Francisco.
Yeah, but that was right after the Seahawks hurt half their players. So, I mean, so
act like they put a hit on him or something.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like it a couple times, but but no, I mean, so when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, they beat the Texans. Okay, they lost to the Bengals.
Right.
So it's not.
It is a frustrating team.
They haven't had great wins. Even the teams they're beating, they're barely beating. Outside of the Chargers, who just didn't show up for that game, but it's a team that you would think would look better than they do, and at least on offense, you knew. I mean, Rob's a Seahawk fan, so yeah, exactly. It's a frustrating team.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in the Jags. I don't. I think I have about as much faith as that. This is the year of the Jekyll and Hyde teams, I noticed. I mean, there's a lot of teams they'll play really well, and then they'll be flop. The next week they'll flop. It's like, what is going on in this league?
Yeah, that's probably
I don't know if it's the parity or
number 10 is that team.
Yeah.
Honestly, number 10 right there probably disappears this week. The Bears just poke their head on and then disappear. Because I mean, they are that team where Caleb Williams is good for the scripted plays, right? 12 to 15 plays. He's solid, right? And as soon as that's done, the quality of his gameplay is done too. Like he falls way off.
They are 7-3. That's what I was thinking. They're 7-3.
That's why they make their appearance.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Bears, I know Chicago fans are all hyped up about that, and they should be. I mean, Ben Johnson's doing a good job with that team. They were crap last year. They touched 7 wins so far. So, I mean, that's an improvement all the while.
Not since 2018, I believe, that they've had a record like that.
But you also got to realize their wins as well, because they beat a Cincinnati team who couldn't tackle a tree and when it needed to. They beat a Giants team who said, you know what, I don't want to even play the fourth quarter anymore. So, I mean, those are 2 wins right there that I have questions about with the Bears. Their defense is not that good. People say, their defense. No, their defense is not that good. They get run on constantly. So
and that's actually the problem with some of trying to make this list this year is when you're looking at some of these teams, the Bears have snuck by some bad teams. Patriots have beat mostly bad teams. Colts have beat mostly bad teams. So, I mean, when you're looking at this, it's like, yeah, their record is great. And had they been playing like the Eagles schedule, they'd be number 1, right? Like you're beating playoff caliber teams, but instead they're beating, teams that are fighting for the number 1 overall pick. Well, that's not impressive to anybody. Yeah, you should win that game. Middling teams should win that game.
Green Bay doesn't look impressive. I would take 49ers over Green Bay on this top 10 list any day right now. They just don't look that impressive. And I gave them a lot of props.
You lost to Carolina at home. You lost
tied with Dallas.
Tied Dallas. You barely, you played well enough defensively against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia gave you a chippy, and you still didn't come out with any, points in that. I don't believe in Green Bay. Like I said, I don't believe in Green Bay either. They're not playing real good. The NFC North is just funny right now. The Lions are winning games that they need to win, but they're losing games against better, I wouldn't say better teams, but good teams. I didn't think Philadelphia is that good, to tell you the truth. I think they've been getting away with murder, basically, over the last games. They've been barely winning games. Their offense is crap.
So the only difference for them, yes, their offense has been wildly underperforming. But when they're sneaking by teams, they're still sneaking by good teams.
Yeah.
Right? When you're seeing the Colts sneak by not the Colts, but the Patriots sneak by the Raiders, you're like, okay, well, I mean, that's not like, you shouldn't sneak by that game. Now the Colts beat the brakes off the Raiders, so that was different. But those are the kind of the things that I look at when I build these things. So yeah, I mean, Green Bay not being on there, it's because I don't like the way they've played. They haven't won anything in decisive manner, and they've lost games they really shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're going to go to the Super Bowl, though, with Micah Parsons. Anyway, I mean, it still could happen. It's the middle of the season, so you never know. Yeah, I know. I mean, so looking at this list, so you actually believe, and that's fine. I have no problem with it. So you think the Eagles are the best team in the whole NFL right now?
Today. Remember, I change this every week. Like, these move around.
Well, yeah. That's what I meant.
So as it
I think it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, so yes, as it sits today, yes.
So for me, it could be a coin flip. It could be a coin flip between the top two because the
Yeah.
Rams are just that good as well. And then Seattle, I'm not mad at them being third, or I wouldn't be mad at them being number two because, like you said, 4 interceptions and turnovers, they should have been obliterated. But the defense kept them in the game, and they had an opportunity to try to win the game. Uh, but in regards to who is it we were just talking about? The Eagles. The Eagles. Let's not forget they're the Super Bowl champions. They're the reigning Super Bowl champions. Everybody's giving them their best. Everybody's going to come out and try to eliminate them. Don't get me wrong. There is something a little different about their offense, but again, they're finding ways to win. That's all you can ask for a team to continue to try to win, and they're doing it against really good teams, like Bo just said. So I have to agree. I mean, remember Kansas City last year? They looked really funky last year. Mind you, they went to the Super Bowl and they lost. They got blown out, but they still got to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, this is a team that's winning on a consistent basis year after year, and it's just sometimes you get tired, you get old. Everything is something. A lot of things can happen, and so uh, the Eagles lost their offensive coordinator.
Yep.
And does that have anything to do with it? Possibly. I mean, they were like it's impossible.
To be fair, the Lions lost both of theirs, though.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to tell you something about your list. I like it, but I would probably move the Lions a lot further down and move the Broncos a lot further up. I think the Broncos beat the Eagles. The Rams didn't beat the Eagles, even though they should have beat the Eagles.
Yes.
If their special teams would have worked fine. I think that the top three right there, I like that.
The only reason I hadn't with the Broncos is, again, it's a strength of schedule issue for me. They haven't had, obviously they beat the Eagles.
And the Chiefs.
Yeah, well, yeah. Divisional game though, so I mean those are also a little bit different. I mean that's why the Cowboys, being a trash team, almost beat the Eagles, tied with Green Bay. Like they do, they're all NFL teams still. So, but yeah, the Broncos, I felt like I could have moved up. I just want to see one more like quality win out of them. That isn't like actually what really makes it hard for me, I guess, more than anything to move them up. Strength of schedule is part of it. It's the fact that they don't play consistent football at all. So if you look at them statistically, their offense is 25th through 3 quarters. And then it is the best offense in the league in the 4th quarter. You know what's not sustainable? Is that when you're playing good teams, especially playoff caliber teams, you're not always going to be able to come from behind and do that by a couple of scores because your offense sat the bench for 45 minutes. Right? Like
they did that against the Giants, right? 33 points.
Yeah. Like at some point you need a whole game. And so I think that's ultimately going to burn the Broncos at some point. So that's one of the other elements that keeps them down on my list.
Well, they have a pretty favorable schedule if you look at their schedule coming up. I mean, they don't really play anybody.
I expect them to move up.
Yeah. I mean, and I think they've won 8 games in a row.
I know.
I know. You can't get – that's consistency to me there, Bo. But anyway.
It is. It's the consistent – it's the consistent inconsistency of their offense that makes me question if they're really a contender or a pretender, right? But they do have a softer schedule coming up. I expect them to move up this list. The way the Bills have been playing, I fully expect them to fade because their defense just hasn't shown up consistently. The Bears, I imagine this is a 1-week blip before they implode. So, I mean, that's why this is an evolving list each week.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think you're giving the Lions too much credit. I already know what I said this at the beginning of the season. Their interior line they're going to make or break with that interior line. Mm-hmm. If that interior line screws up, they're going to be hurt. It's just they don't have a quarterback that's mobile. It's not going to happen. They can win games like the Giants. They'll probably beat the Giants. Green Bay, Green Bay. They'll probably beat Dallas, although Dallas will be a little bit tougher because they have a strong middle. Obviously, Gentry didn't do very good against that middle of that defense.
You'll lose to the Rams.
Probably lose to the Rams, yeah.
But you'll beat the Steelers.
But we'll beat the Steelers, and we might, get
and then you'll beat
back
the Vikings,
Minnesota, and then we'll probably. I don't know about Chicago. Depends what the record is at that time and what they do. But
that's my thing. Is it's like you don't have a super hard schedule in front of you. So even if you don't really believe in the Lions, I don't see them falling apart because what you have left.
Yeah, I mean, for the Lions though, it's not about. They want to win a division. They want to get a number one seed. That's not happening. But they want to at least win a division. But it's not about that as a fan to me. It's about advancing in the playoffs, and they're not going to advance in the playoffs with that interior line playing like that. I can tell you that right now, because teams are keying on that. So it's going to be a short playoff run if they can't get that fixed. But anyway,
Michael, that last comment there is deodorant doesn't have to work 24/7. It doesn't have to, but it's sure nice if it does, right? And if I'm looking at 2 on the shelf, or in this case, 32 on the shelf. The one that says it's going to work all day, that's the one that's going to be on the top of my list. Now, I might wear number 10 because it's the only thing there. You know what I'm not relying on is number 10 if it matters.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't want you stinking at the end of the day, man.
Right?
It needs to be 24/7.
On that note.
Thanks for playing along.
Right. Deodorant and all. We have to call it a night, folks.
Make sure you're sure with Sure.
Yeah, make sure you're sure. Yeah. 24/7 protection. There you go. Shout out to that sponsor. Anyway.
Right.
pH balance.
That's right. Strong enough for a man.
Yeah.
Secrets.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody have a great rest.
We're going to continue to be unprofessional here, or no?
Yeah.
I mean, we're working on it.
Why not? Why not? We've already passed the time limit. What the hell?
Yeah.
So everybody have a good rest of your evening. Have a good rest of your week. We will see you again next Wednesday, hopefully with a full slate. Hopefully Keith will be back, and Tip as well. He can get some time off, and we'll, not that I didn't. The present company wasn't great, but
with deodorant, Keith.
We would like to have the full board on. You're right.
Turns
exactly.
Out,
we wanted 10.
Turns out this group sucks. So
10 deodorants. Yeah, we have 10 deodorants on the shelf, and 3 of them just made it. So
no speed stick.
All right, everybody have a good one.
See ya.
Peace out.